Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we got a little bit of drama and a little bit of trash talk to talk about, and I'm very excited to talk about that. One, because drama and trash talk is just always fun. You know, we love that on this channel. I know a lot of you guys love that on this channel. Some of my most viewed and best performing videos ever, especially like during the season, you know, like non-off-season content, is some trash talk, is some drama, is, you know, something a little juicy going on. And especially with the LCS kicking off this next coming weekend, hey, we need some storylines. We need some excitement. We need some hype going into that. And I know Riot has done a really nice job of putting out some hype pieces, and I think they've done a really good job with content this year. And I think people are really hyped about the LCS this season. So, you know, I'm hoping viewership's going to be up. I'm hoping the games are going to be fun. I'm hoping this is a great year for the LCS overall. But man, TSM and CLG, even before the season has started, they're already getting some of that trash talk going. They're already getting some of their flame on and that rivalry reignited. So let's talk about it. Definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. I would appreciate that a ton. And subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. I would appreciate that a ton, helping us run those numbers up. Maybe we'll get to 10,000 one of these days. That'd be awesome. But with that being said, let's get right into this one. So, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know, or maybe you don't, you know, it depends if you're a newer LCS fan or not, but TSM and CLG is one of the most storied rivalries in the LCS. Not so much as of late, even though TSM has kind of not been as dominant as they once were, they've still been a relatively top team. You know, TSM's still been the fourth best team in the LCS on average, probably over the past couple of seasons. CLG has been much less than that. CLG has been everywhere from like fourth to, I don't know, 10th, you know, and everywhere in between. So, but once upon a time, CLG and TSM were two of the best teams in the LCS. This was like 1 and 2. You know, CLG won a couple of titles. CLG made it to the MSI final. TSM was winning everything. TSM was making it to Worlds all the time. This was like G2 and Fnatic in the LEC. And now, obviously, again, both teams have taken a big step back from where they once were. But TSM's holding up their part of the bargain for the most part. TSM's still a very popular team. They're still an exciting team, a fun team with a ton of fans. But again, it's been a while since we've really seen the TSM CLG rivalry really matter, really anyone care about it too much. But that made it all the more interesting when this clip popped up. You know, maybe that TSM CLG stuff is coming back a little bit because there was this clip that was going around Reddit, Twitter, YouTube, all over the place. TSM Spica flames CLG Luger after he says this in game chat. Obviously, you know, very clickbait title, really just YouTube title. So let's see what's going on. I think it's a really funny clip.
I'm muting fucking this kid. Fucking cringe. Just walk around.
So obviously Spica, you know, says I'm muting this kid, fucking cringe, just walk around. I think the Kaiser's like trying to get him to go up and around. He's like, no, go the other way. I'm, you know, farming and stuff. And he mutes his pings and his emotes, but he doesn't mute his chat. And that was a great decision because then we get, he's talking to CLG Luger. He's talking to CLG's current AD carry Luger. And then this is what happens. I don't know if how well you can see it, but he says, Lee, no brain. Super funny. Now, obviously, Luger is playing on his CLG Luger account. Spica is playing on Astro Boy 99. So, you know, maybe he knows it's Spica, maybe he doesn't, maybe he just thinks it's a random, you know, solo queue player or whatever. But yeah, he says, Lee, no brain, and the trash talk is on. So that's where Spica just decides to totally destroy Luger. Again, I assume Luger didn't know that this was an LCS player, let alone it was Spica, you know, the reigning, defending MVP. And Spica lets him know, XD, see you in LCS, gonna shit on you. And that is hilarious. And that is what has got everyone talking about this. That's why this has become a meme. That's why this has become big trash talk. And this is why maybe this could be fueling the TSM CLG rivalry headed into the season. And again, rekindling some of those flames. You know, whenever TSM and CLG play, people are going to be talking about this. And the Lee Sin memes, the gonna shit on you, that stuff's going to be coming back up. And it's going to be very funny. Now, again, I don't expect the TSM CLG rivalry to be that great this season because maybe TSM is not going to be a top team this year, but I still think they're going to be top 5. I don't think CLG is going to be top 5, so still these two teams are headed in absolute opposite directions. And I know there are memes about like, hey, CLG, they had this downfall from grace. Hey, TSM's on that same track right now. Maybe they'll catch each other at the bottom and they can, fight about who's going to shit on each other for like the 7th place game or whatever. But I don't really see that happening this season, but I did think it was very, very funny. Now, about this overall, I just did want to say a couple of things. Obviously, I guess we'll play the rest of it too, just kind of see how Spica reacts. I just wanted to play that last part because I think it's funny that Spica has like the very fake, angry, nervous, I don't know what that is, laughter of like he is laughing, he thinks it's funny, but he's also like pretty tilted, pretty mad as well. And then obviously Luger is pretty tilted and mad as well. And at the end of the day, I would say, hey, everybody in this situation needs to just relax a little bit. Like obviously, hey, we've all flamed in solo queue before. We've all been tilted. We've all been angry. It's a very frustrating game, especially when you're typing in chat and not like talking to people. Hey, it can happen. We've all been there. I'm not saying that's the end of the world, but on the Luger side of things, if I'm a team, if I'm an org, if I'm a coach, if I'm, an owner, whatever, I don't necessarily love my players going around and flaming, random people in solo queue. And we have tweets, showing that that's what Luger was doing. Corey JJ tweeted this. He said, when does LCS start? LCS waiting tweet 1. And he tweets this whole situation. And Luger says, ha ha ha, I actually didn't know that this is a pro Lee. And then Closer tweets out this clip of him on Lee Sin saying Lee Sin is strong this patch. And then Luger says, this Lee has a brain. And, he's playing into it. He's making jokes about it. That is funny. And in the end, it works out and ends up being a very, very funny clip since he is actually flaming Spica. And I think trash talk between pro players is good. I think that's fine. I think that's entertaining. And I think in competition, you shouldn't really like the other players. I don't think you have to love or be friends with. I think there should be a competitive rivalry. There should be a little, hate or disdain or whatever. There doesn't have to be a total lack of disrespect. You don't have to be a complete asshole, whatever, but there should be some trash talk. There should be, hey, I'm better than you. You suck. You don't have a brain. I don't think there's anything wrong with that as long as, especially if you say it beforehand and then you go and back it up on the Rift. But I don't love the idea of Luger, going around flaming random people in their mom's basement on solo queue or whatever. I know people have talked about this. Yes, this is still competitive environment. It's ranked, it's solo queue, whatever, but it's the equivalent of, professional athletes going to a pickup game at the park and just shitting on, random people, which would be very, very weird. And you wouldn't want your professional athletes, so soccer players, football players, basketball players, whatever, to go around doing stuff like that. So again, yes, I think it ends up being okay because Luger is flaming Spica and that just makes it funny and that makes it content and that makes it entertainment. But I hope Luger doesn't get in the habit of just, perma-flaming, randoms too often. Because overall, I think it's a bad look for him. I think it's a bad look for the org. I think it's a bad look for the LCS. I think pro players should be held to a little bit higher standard. And yeah, hey, stuff happens every once in a while. I get it, but I wouldn't really want it to become the norm. And then Spica, he is obviously, he knows it's Luger, so he's responding to him. He's talking some trash back. But Spica's also very tilted, very mad, very upset here. And, hey, it's just solo queue at the end of the day. For some of us, it's solo queue is the main thing in the world. But these are competitive players. These are professional players. I don't know. It's just kind of funny, also interesting seeing how into it they're getting and how upset and angry. And that's probably the competitive side of them. And maybe that's how they even get to the top in the first place, by just being ultra competitive, even in, a meaningless solo queue game or whatever. But I just did think this clip was very, very funny. I thought it was hilarious. This Lee has no brain, gonna shit on you, see you in LCS, all that stuff. Super, super funny. And again, I love the trash talk. I love the drama, the entertainment, the hype. And it's just getting me more and more ready for the LCS season, so I can't wait. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about this whole situation? Do you like the trash talk between pros? Do you think they should, take it out of solo queue, take to Twitter, keep it to interviews? I don't know. I'd love your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.